It's midday. Good afternoon. Here is the midday news on OGBC. My name is Titilope Awobajo. First, the major items. The federal government is collaborating with the World Bank to create jobs for young Nigerians, just as it signed a landmark agreement to establish a regional training hub for pharmaceutical manufacturing in the country. US president calls for a stop in Russia attacks on Ukraine. The federal government and World Bank are aligning on agenda to create good quality jobs for young Nigerians. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Waliedo, stated this during an interview after the bank's development committee meeting as part of the spring meetings in Washington, D.C. According to him, the governors of the bank, who are ministers of finance of member countries, have set a job creation agenda for the institution and that it aligned with President Bola Tinubu's job creation agenda in Nigeria. Mr. Edom said that the administration of President Tinubu was set to provide crowd in private capital to grow the economy and boost job creation. The federal government on Sunday issued a strong warning to Nigerians over the growing menace of cyber slavery, a rising form of human trafficking increasingly targeting young people across the region. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Yusuf Tugar, in a statement by the ministry spokesperson, Mr. Kimiobi Ebienfa, expressed deep concern over the alarming rate of Nigerian youths being lured abroad under false pretenses and forced into cybercrime operations under inhuman conditions. According to the ministry, many of the victims, including underage teenagers, are enticed with offers of high paying jobs, particularly in the crypto industry. Upon arrival abroad, they are trafficked into sophisticated scam operations and held against their will in what have become known as 419 cyber scam factories. The ministry cited a recent case in Accra, Ghana, where a group of Nigerians was rescued by the Economic and Organized Crime Office. Nigeria's health sector reform has taken a bold step as the federal government signed a landmark agreement with the Empower School of Health, Geneva, to establish a regional training hub for pharmaceutical manufacturing in the country. The coordinating Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Ali Pate, made this known on Sunday in a broadcast. According to the minister, the government is also partnering 17 new healthcare manufacturing companies on 22 large negotiations presently ongoing. Professor Pate initiative Empower Academy Nigeria as a President Bola Tinubu's renewed hope agenda. He explained that the initiative aims to increase Nigeria's local manufacturing of pharmaceuticals to at least 70% of domestic consumption by 2030, while also boosting vaccine production, establishing multiple new plants for biological and diagnostics, and doubling Nigeria's pharmaceutical market share in Africa by 15%. The federal government says it has completed repairs on the runway of Akano Ibiam International Airport in Enugu and will be reopened this Monday. The Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development, Mr. Festus Keyamo, who made the announcement on Sunday, said the work was finished ahead of the scheduled May 6th date. Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria (FAN) had in a statement explained that there was a sudden and significant rupture in the asphalt surface at a critical section of the runway. It stated that emergency repairs would be conducted on that portion of the runway from April 22nd to May 6th, 2025. You're listening to the Midday News on OGBC 90.5 FM. President Donald Trump urged Russia on Sunday to stop its attacks in Ukraine, while his top diplomat said the United States might walk away from peace effort if it does not see progress. President Trump said he was disappointed that Russia has continued to attack Ukraine, adding that his one on one meeting with Ukrainian President Mr. Volodymyr Zelensky on Saturday had gone well. President Trump and his Ukrainian counterpart in Rome for the funeral of Pope Vatican Basilica on Saturday to try to revive faltering efforts to end the war in Ukraine. The meeting was the first between the leaders since an angry encounter in the White House Oval Office in February and comes at a critical time in negotiation aimed at bringing end to the conflict. Chinese policymakers this Monday sought to assuage concerns that the broad U.S. tariffs could derail efforts to shore up a fragile economic recovery, even as analysts warn the hefty levies raise the risk of a sharp downturn in growth. U.S. President Donald Trump's global trade war has rattled financial markets and raised fears of a recession, particularly a tit for tat tariffs between the world's two biggest economies threatening to upend supply and a whole range of industries, according to Vice Head of the National Development and Reform Commission (NDRC), China State Planner Mr. Zhao Chenzin. The country will achieve its economic growth target around 5% for 2025. Mr. Zhao refrained from announcing any support or stimulus measures or said the NDRC would roll out new policies over the second quarter in line with the prevailing economic conditions at the time. Mr. Zhao added that no matter how the international situation changes, China will anchor her development goals, maintain strategic focus, and concentrate on doing her own thing. Pakistan's army said on Sunday that its soldiers killed 54 militants who had tried to enter the country crossing its northwestern border was deterred by the security forces in the northern province of Khyber Pakhtunkhwa between Friday and Sunday. It added that the group of jihadists was specifically infiltrating on the behest of their foreign masters to undertake high-profile terrorist activities inside Pakistan, and 54 militants had been killed. Such actions by jihadists at a time when India is leveling baseless accusations against Pakistan clearly implies on whose skills the jihadists are operating. Pakistan is grappling with a broad uptick in militancy coinciding with the Taliban's 2021 return to power in neighboring Afghanistan, where Islamabad claims attackers are now taking shelter. French President Mr. Emmanuel Macron said on Sunday that there can never be a place for racism and hatred in France after the brutal stabbing to death of a Muslim in a mosque in the south of the country. President Macron wrote on X handle in his first comments on Friday's killing, extending his support to fellow Muslim citizens that racism and hatred based on religion can never have any place in France, adding that freedom of worship cannot be violated. The attacker, who is on the run, stabbed the worshipper dozens of times and then filled him with a mobile phone while shouting insults on Islam. In Friday's attack in the village of La Grande Combe in the Gard region, French Prime Minister Mr. had already denounced what he described an Islamophobic atrocity. The alleged perpetrator sent the video he had filmed with his phone, showing the victim breathing in agony to another person who then shared it on a social media platform before deleting it. On sport, Oleksandr Usyk's rematch with Daniel Dubois for the undisputed world heavyweight title will take place at Wembley Stadium on Saturday, July 19th. Britain's Dubois challenged Usyk in 2023, losing 9 rounds, but only after sending Usyk to the canvas with a blow that the referee ruled low, and the Londoner has received an opportunity to gain revenge. Ukraine's unified world titleist Usyk defeated Tyson Fury in May of last year to become boxing's first undisputed heavyweight world champion in 25 years, but his commitment to a rematch with Fury meant he could not make a mandatory defense of the IBF belt against Dubois. The development of the country can be enhanced through concerted efforts. Play your own part for the sustenance of the nation. To end the media news, another look at the major items. The Minister of Finance and Coordinating Minister of the Economy, Mr. Wale Edo, during an interview after the Bank Development Committee meeting as part of the spring meetings in Washington, D.C., informed that the federal government and World Bank are aligned an agenda to create good quality jobs for young Nigerians. The Minister of Health and Social Welfare, Professor Ali Pate, in a broadcast on Sunday said the federal government signed a landmark agreement with the Empower School of Health, Geneva, to establish a regional training hub for pharmaceutical manufacturing in the country. They also heard that the President, Donald Trump, has urged Russia to stop its attacks in Ukraine, while his top diplomat said the United States might walk away from peace effort if it does not see progress. The media news was edited by Titilope and broadcast from OGBC Abeokuta. For exclusive programs and the latest news updates, visit our website at openradio.ng. Follow us on Facebook at Open Radio Abeokuta and on X handle at OGBC 905 FM. You can also listen to OGBC on the Radio Garden.